I'm taking real people on the road to get their questions answered. This is Verify Road Trip. Justin is my guest. He doesn't accept the climate is changing. We've already talked to a world-renowned climatologist, and now we're at Inner Space Caverns near Austin with Dr. Jay Banner.
All right, when we get down to the bottom, if you're taller than 5'7", watch your head.
Jay's a geologist at the University of Texas. He's guiding us deep inside a cave because while we did not have thermometers thousands of years ago, caves are one way to tell us what the climate used to be like. And he's taking us off the path where there are no lights and things get tight.
So it's going to get low, and we're going to get to a point where we're going to crawl.
We get to a certain point, and it gets so narrow. We're having our helmets on, we have gloves on. We're like squeezing through, trying to maneuver our bodies.
I had a couple moments of pretty good panic.
I didn't think my fat butt would actually get through there for a minute.
What does the study of a cave tell us about our changing climate?
Long-term changes, things we can't capture in the time we've been able to study climate through instruments like rain gauges, thermometers, things like that. Those records go back about 120 years or so.
Jay's telling us the dripping water in here is what creates these hanging formations. On the inside, they have these little rings that can tell us what the climate used to be like on the surface.
You can see the
You
rings.
can see the rings, just like tree rings.
Oh yeah, I had no idea that's what it looked like inside.
Yeah.
From his research, Jay can infer periods in Earth's history when CO2 levels were on the rise.
You know those CO2 curves you see? How they go up from like the 1970s on up to now, and it goes like, you calculate that rate of change. You could calculate what we have from our past records of CO2 and calculate those changes. The rate of change happening today is 40,000 times faster.
So that's the difference. It's not the fact that it hasn't happened before, it's the fact that it's just increasingly rapid now.
That's right.
Than it was
Exactly.
at that time before.
Right.
We're traveling to Texas A&M, and we're talking to Dr. Andy Dessler, a climatologist. He joined us for a cup of coffee near campus.
David?
Andy says proving that carbon emissions from humans are the cause of climate change is a bit like a criminal investigation.
CO2 has blood all over it. It's that blood of the climate system all over it.
I like that analogy right
And so if you
there.
want to
That's good.
argue that it's not CO2, not only do you have to advance a hypothesis, but you also have to say, why does CO2 look so guilty?
Let's look at some of Andy's possible suspects. Is it the Earth's orbit getting closer to the sun? No. He says that kind of change would take thousands of years. Is it the sun getting hotter? No. The sun is in a phase where it's actually generating less heat. Is it events like El Nino which change the Earth's weather patterns? Andy says there is no research that supports the idea that these events can cause long-term changes in the climate. So that leaves carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. Andy says the historical connection is strong between increased carbon and increased temperature.
CO2 is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Not beyond a shadow of a doubt. There's always a shadow of a doubt. But beyond a reasonable doubt, there's really no question that we're responsible for the warming.
Is there anything you can pinpoint here in Texas that you can go, this?
Yeah, probably
Is there-
say summer 2011.
Lakes are drying up all over North Texas.
The 71st day this year at or above 100. That's once again number one on the all-time list.
When it comes to Texas summers, the drier the summer, the hotter the temperature. And there have been some really hot, dry years here, but nothing compares to the summer of 2011. Scientists have concluded because of climate change that extremely hot summer days, like we saw in 2011, are now 10 times more likely to happen.
So, you'll still have average years, you'll still have cool years, but when you have a hot year, it's going to be worse.
So we've learned the Earth's climate has changed before, but this is different. In a matter of decades, we've spiked the atmosphere with carbon and other greenhouse gases, and that's causing the temperature on Earth to rise. But what's Justin thinking?
Am I convinced yet on an actual real problem? I don't know, the jury's still out.
So Justin is not convinced. But this journey's not over. We're going to Alaska,
You said that you needed to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I said prove it to me.
So here we are.
That's next time on Verify Road Trip.